Hello, so we have another friendly game played on IGS between 9Q plus and 10Q on 2 handicap, and this time black won by 26 points and a half. That's a pretty large margin, but at the end white lost a few stones in the lower right corner instead of connecting them in time, and also missed an opportunity to use the edge on the right side to catch a few stones, but we will get to that in a moment. So let's check it out from the beginning. Good idea to attack the Komoku, so the Josekis can get more complicated, but black is choosing to go for a simple variation here. Nice idea to play the approach first. Locally, white can just attach r3, pull back, and then extend for a base. But if white plays this approach first to see how black reacts, then white can attach again r3, pull back, and then extend further to connect better the stones on the right side. So this would be actually fine for white to play the attached r3 first. Otherwise later on black can play a pincer, so the space, the gap between white stones on the right side allow an invasion for black pretty soon. But right now black has to look all over the board and grab the big points in the most open spaces. This f3, it's a very conservative move. Black can consider the top left corner approach instead, either low kakari or high kakari. I know he's a big fan of playing the high points, so playing like this is fine too. Like this, black develops much faster all over the board than simply playing f3. Also, the low approach is just fine. When white defends, black extends back for a base. So again, black has influence on the left side, but also some potential on the bottom. So far, it's still an advantage for black using the two handicap stones. Now here white, it's a bit too aggressive to go for the tsuke right away. There's a lot of space on the left side to play. So first of all, white can play a shimari, and then when black takes away the extension in the top, white can extend again on the left side, and later approach the corner with a slide. For example, if black goes here, white plays a submarine approach at b4. There's no need to go all the way into the corner, because there's still a lot of space to surround. Another option for white is just c11. Then if black plays something in the top, let's say black approaches a corner like this, so white takes a shimari, black extends back, then white again can continue on the left side to expand the larger area, so like this. So playing all the way the tsuke at c4 seems a little bit too aggressive and really not necessary yet. Black plays the cover on the outside, going for some outside thickness. That's a good decision. Now instead of playing Atari, black could connect solid, then when white connects, black would just surround and allow white leave in the corner, then attack on the outside. So just expand and try to get some moya on the left side, where is the most open area right now. Another option for black is to cut right away, then push in the corner. Now this is a way for black to grab the corner, and white will go for the outside in this case and extend. But it's a pretty large corner to capture those 4 stones and have the potential towards the bottom. But this is a Joseki too, and it's a force variation. So black played Atari, then connect solid. Now white is very happy to make a base like that, so also damage the corner and go out, but black got center. Now when black plays the approach in the top left corner, white should choose a pincer. It's more interesting to play a move like c13 or a pincer like d12, because this works better with c7 and puts more pressure on black. So when black goes out with an okima, we can have this kind of joseki, So in this case, black gets to live in the corner, but white expands his left side a little bit and also set up a base in the top. So this is a way for white to develop much faster all over the board, and he needs to do that, being a handicap game. The other pincer can also help, as normally black will just attach in the corner to separate white stones, and white can choose Hane, then two space jump. Black will either go out with a cap, Keima cap or Kosumi. Then white can also extend on the left side. Black protects the corner, white extends in the top. So once again, white develops the left and the top, while black is just securing his top left corner. This is a pretty basic Joseki. White can also play the two space jump right away. And this is another basic follow-up for the C13 pincer. It's good to remember these two Josekis and try to use them from time to time, especially in handicap games. In the actual game, white chose to go for territory with the attach at C16, but black is very happy to finish the Joseki on the left side and put pressure on C7 group. So white has to do something now. Normally, white needs to bump and go out between the groups, but that makes black even stronger on the left side, so it's much harder to invade. This invasion, it's a bit risky because C7 it's kind of thin, and the idea of playing the bump and then jump instead of jumping right away, it's to prevent being separated here. So this jump looks fine for now, but black has a Tsuji, the wedge, and when white tries to connect, black will clamp. So now black will just separate white stones, and then white simply dies in the corner. So what happened here? Black gave up a stone as bait, but killed all the stones in the lower area, so it's a successful cut. Now if white simply pushes, black can use the double Hane, and again white gets separated and black has this tremendous wall in the center. So the result is excellent for black overall, even that white leaves on the side that's very low and kind of painful. So white decides to invade, being a handicap game. White is hoping to confuse black here, I guess. So let's see how black reacted here. Jump, that's an option. And white goes out to. White should actually jump out on the left to separate the three stones, because if black tries to kill the left side, for example by playing the attach, white will just bump and get enough space to live in the corner now. But the other stones on the top, they have to run. So now we have a chase going on. Both white and black are running with one weak group into the center, so it gets more exciting like this. Back to the game. So white jumps here and black covers. Black can play the Kosumi instead. It's powerful enough. If white tries to go out, it works to surround and block and kill those guys. Playing the attach leaves the agi of c12, which is threatening to connect under. Actually, c12 is the vital point for white locally. So instead of invading c11, white should think about c12 directly. And then when black tries to keep white separated and connect up or down, white can just go out. But this is still dangerous because it hurts the stones on the left side again. So if this happens, black will just kill the corner. That's why it's not very appropriate for white to invade when his group on the outside is pretty thin. That was a risky way of playing. So now if Nobi, when black separates, white will push once, Atari, then use the attach on the second line. but it's still very difficult to live inside. So in the end, white's invasion pretty much failed here, similar to what happened in the game. Not much to do. This attack is important to keep white stones connected, and black is just fine. So as we can see, c11 was a minus, as black managed to surround it and white didn't profit much from the invasion. But at least white got center and plays away for a pretty big point. This is a really good move, threatening the cut at 03. Black can play this Kosumi first, and if white protects, black has to double up 03, then white needs to extend for a base. If black plays the kick, white will go up, black separates the groups, and then again, white extends for a base. It's important for black to play a move to get rid of the idea of b3. So if black plays a bit more aggressive here, like k3, white can use the idea of b3 and cut. Then either take the corner or connect under. Then this way, black has a problem both in the corner and on the outside. Playing this slide, actually it's an Ajikeshi, so gets rid of the cut. The proper way would be to block, because the block gives some territory on the right side and it's pretty big, and black has to come back and protect against the cut. So the Aji to use is actually p3 here. If this happens, black is forced to capture the stone, so white will go for the corner anyway. But then black can pincer. That's why white has to be a little bit patient and block the side first and then go for the cut. But p2 just fixed the problem for black, so now black doesn't have to worry about the cut. Now black can pincer, white goes out, and then black jumps between the groups. This would be a good way to induce the way out into the center. This block is a little bit slack, and it gives white room to extend for a base, and that feels comfortable. So pincer better. If white pushes once at q2, black can block, so it's not a big deal to accept this exchange. Now when white goes out, separate like this, so white is still on the run. Either turn or jump again, and then surround the stone on the right side. So this way, black is already making some profit in the corner during the fight. And that's a more active way to play. So black just blocks and white takes the base. Then black secures his group. That's a pretty good move. And go up. Now here, white can also cover. But then black will push again, bump, make I shape, and create a cutting point. But white can jump out to protect the cut indirectly. So there is no more cut here as the ladder works. Anyway, this block is normal too. Black goes out and white jumps. Now white can actually ignore this and go for the top right corner. Either attach and hane or slide and extend back or invade Sansan. Playing this jump doesn't affect the lower left much because black is already strong, and black can play a wedge to create two cutting points, so white needs to play another move to stay connected here, and then black just grabs another big point. So if you look all over the board, black got this solid corner, the top right, the solid group on the left, and the solid group on the bottom. So there are 4 places where black can build between 10 and 15 points each, and that's a pretty good start. Yeah, this extension is very good too, going for the side. But now it's time for white to invade the corner. Even though black extends again in the top, it's important to grab the corners. So in the actual game, white jumps in the top to make a few extra points there, then black takes the big point in the corner. Now after black takes s16, the invasion at r12 is available and it's pretty big. So white extends on the right, that's a good decision. But black jumps in, and that's the normal follow-up after s16. So far all the moves are pretty normal. Here black can think about hane the other way, then go up. So when white surrounds, black will separate, and this way white has to run out with this group, and then also becomes pretty thin on the right side, and this would be more aggressive play by black. Also, if white decides to connect at s11, black will link under, and again white is on the run. Oops, just one space jump to keep it safe, and white has to run on neutral points while black gets to reduce the center. So black could consider the other hane, but this is a normal follow-up. Simply connect under, and actually it's safer for black to connect again at s15. We will see later in the game how that could have been played out. So white protects, and black just expands his moyo on the left side. Now here black can play a peep to keep cente, and then if black wants to come in the middle, he should use either one space jump from this direction or a jump from the top, or gamer like this, or something like a reducing move, because it's obvious that white's influence is going to have some potential towards the left, but black's influence on the left side goes to the right. So when black gets a stone like L10, it's hard to catch that kind of stone. It will connect to the left or to the top, and also reduces a lot of the potential on the right side. So this jump was a little bit slack, but probably black is already feeling good with his territories. Now instead of pushing here, black can play keima. Then when white blocks, black will go up, and white blocks again, so it will destroy more points. If white plays s5 to take cente, this creates cutting points into white's formation here and here, and also gives black extra points in the corner. So that's an option too. So now white tries to get black tries to get into white center. It's possible to play an attach here and then jump out like this, or kosumitsuke, hane, and then go out. But the idea is good. Black has to reduce the center. Now playing this push can backfire. White can block this, because the cut is not a problem. White has the ladder, so white can capture that cut right away. And after white blocks, if black plays in the middle, white can push, then go down. Now this creates a damage sumari from both directions, so black can't approach t13 to play Atari, and also it's impossible to approach t11, which means in this position black has to connect t14. But in this case the two black stones are already captured, because once again black is not going to approach t13. It's a self Atari, so he doesn't want to do that. So playing that push, it's actually a problem, because when white blocks, black has to come back and protect. So white loses an important step here. Then, I'm sorry, black loses timing or tempo. So white can put pressure and then clamp here and try to increase the middle. Let's say a move like this. White should really try to get a lot in the center in order to stay in the game. So in the actual game, white just no B, and black tries to reduce all the way to the wall. That's a bit too deep. So normally the moyo, it's going to be enclosed around here. That's the imaginary line. So for black to reduce, it's better to play some move from afar. If white simply protects and builds like 10 points around the wall, this is not enough. So for black, it's good enough to reduce this way. That was a bit too deep. So here I can think about killing that invasion by playing an approach in the, I mean a forcing move in the top first, and then cap move, for example, combined with keima or push and then jump to set up a net, either like this or like this. So now for black it's really difficult to escape, and instead of reducing that moyo, black just made it bigger. This was wise chance to get some extra points. Well, this keima, it's also quite okay. Actually, it's an O game or a large knight move. But the follow-up, not so great. Why should cut this way? And then if black tries to become ambitious, all the stones will die inside. So now again, white builds a lot of territory next to his wall. If white cuts like this and black goes out, then the two stones, they die on a pretty large scale. So again, black is kind of punished. But this way, white is taking a small stone, so black can just jump out. And we can say black sacrifice was quite effective this way. So Kosumi threatening to connect to the bottom. Cap, it's a nice idea, but it's hard to enclose that group anymore. So black is out. Black can actually just play the attach and then extend, because this threatens Atari from O11. So when white connects, Atari connect and then go out again. And if white tries to surround, then black has this Atari and capture that stone to destroy more. If white connects, black will capture everything. So Atari, it's not always great. It's good to keep it in reserve. Now the key point here is L9 to make I shape. And anyway, it's difficult for white to surround this group. So black is safe. Playing like this, white can hit the vital point right away and forces black into a bad formation when black connects. That happened later on. This move is nice, but pullback is not so great because black will take the tiger mode. Should either attach or no B, or leave it like this. In fact, white should consider M17 here because white is already strong in the middle. So if black covers, white can link under. And if black connects under, white can hane, then connect. So this way, white reduces more. So black pumps. Actually, black can play the tiger mile right away. If white pushes here, it's just a 1 point. So also for white to bump like this, it's a pretty small defense. White can no B instead as the key point. So black got it, and everything was centered there. Very good. Now turn the key point, and white reduces this area a bit. Black can play this kind of block to build more points in the middle. Anyway, all black has to do is to keep his stones connected, and he managed so far. So now when black got this territory in the center, it feels like black is slightly ahead. White managed to reduce a little bit, but it's still okay for black. Here white can continue with hane on the first line in center. Otherwise later on black can play J1 in center, and that happened in the actual game. Hane connect is gote, so for white it's better to descend. Then when black connects, white plays away. It's bigger to play K18 and then jump to M18, so black will block this. Then hane here in center, block like this, also center. Where else? Tari. That's not center, peep it center, but this happened in the game too. Then push once and turn. This is center too. And Han and hanging connection threatening the corner, so black might add another stone here. So this Han black just blocks. Then black captured one stone. That's not so big. Black should play the Kosumi in the top, because that's a nice center move for both black and white, so it's better to take it first. This capture in the middle, it's a few points in Gote. Hane here was center. Then the top center moves. Here black can connect solid. Less cotres like this. But anyway, he needs to defend. That's fine. Going down is no need. Black has enough space in the corner, so black can play the hanging connection. Now, if white goes down, black doesn't need another move in the corner. But black just wants to make sure he has ice. Now here, it's normal to connect S15. So white doesn't need this move. Push once and descend. Now white gets the 2 stones and also destroys all the points on the side. That's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 12 points. This will reverse the game, I think. And also, white doesn't have to lose the O2 and P2 stones at the end. So it could have been much closer. Here white can also protect L2. It's possible to consider M2 as well, but there is a little bit of RG in this area. And like this, white doesn't have to worry about N2 nose Tesuji. So white could defend more actively. Once white plays Atari T10, the RG is gone. So this Hane was a big problem. And black doesn't even have to protect. Black can just play the nose Tesuji. When white cuts, black connects here and everything is dead in the corner. So when white pushes Atari, and like this, black doesn't spend another move inside his own territory at S2. So when black played S2, white could actually protect. White can go up, also threatening a cut, but the cut doesn't do much. So black can play here and then wedge and connect. Or simply play N2. This was quite expensive. And now there's not much to do. That was a big catch for black. And all the moves left are just 1-2 points. No way to come back for white here. So I'd like to congratulate Tuno for his solid win from the beginning to the end. Well done on this one. Enjoy the review.